What if I told you that happiness isn't something you chase, but something you can create right now? What if I told you that the key to happiness lies in retraining your brain, and it's a lot simpler than you think? Imagine being able to shift from feeling stuck or frustrated to feeling joyful and at peace, no matter what's going on around you. What if I told you that you could apply a simple formula to change the way you think and feel starting today? Stick with me for the next minute because I'm about to reveal Mo Gawdat's happiness formula, a powerful tool that will help you retrain your mind and unlock happiness now. Ready to change your life? Let's dive in. What if I told you that the key to happiness isn't something you find, but something you create? What if I told you that the most powerful way to transform your life is to shift your expectations? Imagine for a moment every time you're disappointed, it's because your expectations don't match reality. What if I told you that by adjusting your expectations, you could radically shift your experience of life and start feeling genuinely happy no matter the circumstances? Most people go through life constantly battling disappointment, frustration, and unfulfilled desires because their expectations are set too high or misaligned with what's truly possible in the present moment. What if I told you that the secret to happiness lies not in changing your circumstances, but in changing what you expect from them? When your expectations are more aligned with reality, you immediately stop the cycle of dissatisfaction and open the door to peace and contentment. Imagine you're in a situation and things aren't going as planned. You feel frustration building up. What if, instead of reacting with anger or sadness, you choose to lower your expectations just a bit and accept things as they are? By doing this, you release the pressure and give yourself the space to be grateful for what is, rather than what isn't. This shift allows you to experience the beauty of the present moment without constantly longing for something more. What if happiness wasn't about getting everything you want, but about accepting what you have? The moment you realize that you can choose how to respond to life's challenges by adjusting your expectations, you unlock the ability to experience joy no matter what's happening. What if today you decided to start living with realistic expectations and see how your life transformed? What if I told you that the secret to happiness isn't about what you get, but how you choose to think about what you already have? What if I told you that your thoughts shape your reality, and if you could change the way you think, you could change your entire experience of life? Imagine for a moment, every time you're unhappy or dissatisfied, it's because your mind is focused on what's missing, not what's present. But what if I told you that by shifting your focus from lack to abundance, you could unlock a new level of contentment, gratitude, and joy? Most people live their lives consumed by negative thinking. They focus on what's wrong, what's missing, and what they can't control. What if I told you that your brain is wired to look for problems, but by simply training your mind to focus on solutions, positives, and gratitude, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance? When you focus on what's going right, the brain starts to find more reasons to be grateful, and that's when true happiness begins to flow in. What if I told you that every time you catch yourself thinking negatively, you could replace that thought with a positive affirmation or reminder of what you're grateful for? The moment you start training your brain to seek out the positive, your entire perspective will begin to shift. Your happiness is determined by your mindset, and when you choose to think in ways that empower you, your world transforms. What if today you decided to focus on what you have instead of what you don't? You would be amazed at how quickly your experience of life could change just by shifting your thoughts. What if I told you that the key to happiness doesn't lie in external circumstances, but in how you react to them? What if I told you that the greatest freedom you have is the power to choose how you respond to the things life throws your way? Imagine for a moment, every time life doesn't go your way, you get upset, frustrated, or overwhelmed. But what if you could change that by simply choosing a different response? What if your ability to control your reaction could be the difference between living in constant stress or experiencing peace no matter what? The truth is, most people believe that happiness is determined by external conditions, a perfect job, the right relationship, or achieving certain milestones. But what if I told you that the real key is mastering your internal response? No matter what happens outside of you, you have control over how you respond. You can choose to react with anger, frustration, or sadness. Or you can choose to respond with acceptance, patience, and a calm mind. Your power lies in the choices you make, not in the situations themselves. What if today, instead of reacting impulsively when things don't go as planned, you took a moment to pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. The more you practice this, the more you begin to free yourself from being controlled by external events. Mastering your reactions creates a ripple effect in your life, leading to more happiness, inner peace, and personal power. What if you could start today choosing to respond with awareness and intention no matter what comes your way? The transformation would be life-changing. What if I told you that the secret to lasting happiness isn't about chasing more success or waiting for everything to be perfect? It's about learning to accept life as it is right now. What if I told you that acceptance is the real key to unlocking peace, joy, and fulfillment, no matter what challenges you face? Most people spend their lives wishing things were different, believing that happiness is just around the corner when their circumstances change. But what if I told you that happiness starts the moment you stop fighting against reality? Imagine this. You're facing a tough situation. Maybe it's a setback at work, a challenge in your personal life, or just a rough day. What if, instead of fighting it or wishing things were different, you decided to fully accept the situation as it is? This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means stopping the internal battle and allowing yourself to feel at peace with what's happening right now. When you stop resisting what is, you stop creating unnecessary pain and frustration for yourself. Acceptance doesn't mean you settle for less or that you stop striving for growth. It means you embrace the present moment and stop wishing it away. By accepting things as they are, you free yourself from the stress of wanting things to be different. What if you started accepting your circumstances, your mistakes, and even the flaws in yourself and others? When you let go of resistance, you unlock a deep sense of peace and start attracting more positive energy into your life. What if today you made the choice to accept life as it is, and in doing so, you create more space for happiness to flow in? The moment you stop fighting, you begin to feel the freedom and joy that's been there all along. What if I told you that the secret to happiness isn't about waiting for things to be perfect or chasing the next big achievement, but about focusing on gratitude for what you already have? What if I told you that practicing gratitude every day could shift your entire perspective, pulling you out of negativity and into a state of abundance? Most people think that happiness comes from external success, getting that promotion, finding the perfect partner, or reaching a specific goal. But what if I told you that the true key to lasting joy is simply being grateful for where you are right now, regardless of your circumstances? Imagine this, you're feeling stuck, frustrated, or dissatisfied with your life. What if you could change that in an instant by simply shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right? Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about actively choosing to focus on the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they seem. When you take time to appreciate even the smallest things, you start to see the world differently. Suddenly, instead of focusing on what's missing, you begin to notice the abundance that already surrounds you. What if I told you that the more you focus on gratitude, the more your brain starts to see even more things to be grateful for? Gratitude rewires your mind, helping you see opportunities, positivity, and beauty that you might have overlooked before. What if today you decided to start practicing gratitude, writing down 3 things you're thankful for every morning, acknowledging the good in your life, and noticing how it changes your energy? That shift in mindset could change your life forever, leading you to a place of true happiness and contentment. What if I told you that the key to unlocking lasting happiness isn't about waiting for the right time, the right job, or the right person, but about taking responsibility for your life right now? What if I told you that true empowerment comes from realizing that you are the creator of your own happiness? Most people wait for circumstances to change before they take action, but what if I told you that the moment you take responsibility for your happiness, everything else shifts? Imagine this, you've been complaining, blaming external factors for why you are not happy, whether it's your job, relationships, or past experiences. What if you realized that the real power lies in your ability to change your mindset, your choices, and your reactions to the world around you? What if you stopped waiting for life to hand you happiness and instead took full responsibility for your own emotional state? When you stop blaming external circumstances, you realize that you have the power to decide how you feel, no matter what's happening around you. What if today you made the decision to take full ownership of your happiness, no matter how challenging the situation? Taking responsibility means realizing that you control your reactions, your thoughts, and your energy. By choosing to focus on what you can change, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the creator of your own happiness. The moment you make this shift, you start to feel an incredible sense of freedom and power. What if you decided today that you are in control of your own happiness? When you do, you take the first step towards a life of true fulfillment and joy. As we wrap up, remember this: the power to create lasting happiness lies within you. It's not about waiting for the perfect circumstances or hoping that life will suddenly align in your favor. It's about taking control, choosing your mindset, and making the decision to take responsibility for your own joy. Happiness is not something you find or earn. It's something you create through the choices you make every single day. Good luck as you embark on this journey of self-empowerment and transformation. May you always remember that you have the power to shape your happiness, and that every step you take towards taking responsibility for your own emotional state will bring you closer to the life you truly desire. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your willingness to embrace this powerful shift. Your happiness is in your hands. Go out and create it.